What's good, guys and girls? It's your boy 005 Dynasty. So, once again, I'm about to start this journey, and I told you guys, I'm always out and about, man. I'm always moving. Anyway, so this video right here is about life. I'm about to teach you guys something about life, man. A lot of you guys and girls in this world don't really understand the concept of life and things that you need to do inside of life. I'm going to give you one thing right now. That one thing is something that will set you free for the rest of your life, especially if you are somebody who's young and don't have real guidance. That one thing is stop being emotional and stop letting your feelings take over your actions and your responses. Yeah. So, if you come on YouTube and you watch some of my videos, sometimes I say, man, you guys don't even understand the type of comments that I get, the type of hate comments I get, right? From somebody who's very emotional about something that I said because they're triggered, right? But a lot of people are not realizing the flip side of how I controlled my emotions and I didn't jump out the box and start flipping out back at these people. So there was a time where I was talking about Knife Wonder and people was coming on my channel and they was going crazy saying mad hateful stuff. And what I was doing was I was talking back to them, right? Which I shouldn't have. And I was also screenshotting a lot of their stuff and I was actually putting it on the internet so people can see it. Meaning like, hey, if you want to talk this greasy on the internet, when you try to go get a real job, now when people search you up, they're gonna find who you really are. They're gonna see who you really are, how nasty you talk to people on the internet. I was doing that, right? But then I said to myself, no, that's not who I am. Because I don't even be on the internet like that. Like in that form, that type of person, you know what I'm saying? That's not who I am. So I was like, let me stop doing that. And I said, let me get back to being me. So sometimes we do lose our way, guys. We do lose our way. So I had to recalibrate my mind and my thought process to go back to stop being emotional every time somebody says something and just brush it off and then go about my business. So my uncle taught me this a very long time ago when I was a youngin. I'm talking about very, very young. I was in middle school, maybe, and I kept I had the most egregious anger problem in our house. It was me. I was the one. I was angry, man. And there's specific reason for that because of childhood trauma, right? But anyway, we're not going there because I'm not trying to pull no sympathy card on you guys. I'm just trying to give you information. So my uncle, his name is Darnell, Uncle D. We call him Uncle D, Uncle Darnell. He gave me key information that saves me from like going to jail or being 6 feet under. The information he gave me was he said, Jamel, I'm going to tell you this one time. He said, you're a good kid, very smart individual. He said, but you need to think before you act, think before you move. He told me that, man. He said, I want you moving forward, just think before you act and before you move, before you do anything. Think about it before you do this. Now, mind you guys, this gentleman was going through a lot in his lifetime. A lot. A lot. And he was still able to tell somebody else that he saw that had a bright future to calm down in what they were doing. Literally, calm down. Think, think, and then move accordingly. So that's why I'm very strategic in the way that I move now, not because I'm trying to manipulate people, it's because I think about my moves. Sometimes I get sidetracked, but then I have to recalibrate and get back on track. And I'm that type of person. I'm good at that now. But what I see on the internet is people don't think. They only react. They have emotional outbursts on YouTube in the comment section. And One of the greatest things I've ever done on YouTube was put the comment section on must approve before this comment goes live. And I think everybody should do that. Because when I started to think about it, this is how it should be done anyways. I don't think anybody should be allowed to just put any type of comment out there on somebody's video. I think it should automatically be blocked until it's approved. And I also don't think anybody should be allowed to just hit that dislike button and disrespect somebody's creativity and also mess up their, I guess, status in the algorithm. I don't think that's right. I don't think that's nice. You know what I'm saying? Or they would have to literally, to me, approve that. Like they would have to submit a legitimate reason why they don't like it. Like a full-fledged comment that's at least 300 characters, and submit that as to being the reason why they don't like the video. And I guarantee you, people won't even dislike the video because they don't even want to write a smart, educated response to that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I digress. So, a lot of people are going crazy on the internet and just going off of emotions instead of really sitting there understanding the facts. So another thing that I realized was a lot of people. This is like, for example, this is one guy, right? He commented like a good 5 times already on my YouTube channel, and I'm pretty sure this is his first time seeing my YouTube channel. So he's going through all my videos and he's making just random comments, right? So every time he comments, I'm using my mind and I'm thinking before reacting, I'm thinking before responding, which I'm not even going to respond. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no point in responding because I thought about it. So as I'm thinking, I'm like, this individual has literally no idea of what I'm saying. They literally don't eat. They get, people can hear what you're saying, but it doesn't go inside. It doesn't develop. It doesn't fully blossom inside of their mind. It's not uh you know a butterfly that was in its cocoon and then all of a sudden just bursts out into all these beautiful colors inside of their mind. It doesn't do that. It doesn't work like that for people, man. Sometimes it takes years before they really figure out what you were actually saying. So when I'm talking about music production, and when I'm talking about these devices, or if I'm talking about sampling versus this and that, or if I'm talking about, hey, the MPC Live Mark III is actually a MIDI controller, a glorified MIDI controller, and they're faking like it's a standalone music production center with a synth engine in it. That's not a real synth engine, guys. This is coding. It's a simple VST. That's not a synth engine like what you would find in like a Roland Phantom keyboard workstation where it has supernatural sounds or things of that nature. See, when people don't understand music and they don't do their research and they just listen to content creators and what the content creator says or what the actual companies say on their channel, they'll fall in love and believe it. That's like when somebody says I'm a musical producer and they show accolades like a plaque on the wall that they had to pay for. Yeah, don't get it twisted, man. Only the record, only the people who own the record, the masters of the record, actually get a plaque. Everybody else got to pay for that. Game, yeah, I know the game. I'm the guy they didn't want on YouTube, guy. I'm the guy they did not want on YouTube because I know the game, man. And if I don't know the game, I do the history and I study. If I don't do the history study, I got people out there who really mess with me and they tell me stuff, and then we collaborate and we find out the information. But oh yeah, you're right, guys. When I say something like they said they market and promote to you, say like this is the most powerful MPC now because they put more RAM and more audio track, whatever they say, right? And but when I try to tell somebody, but you got a computer sitting right over there next to you that has the same processing power, but even more. It's the same. What's the difference between that computer and the MPC? If the MPC doesn't sound any better than any DAW or any VST on your computer, what is the difference between the MPC and your computer? There's literally no difference. You know what I'm saying? They both sound the same. The crappy outs that comes on your motherboard, you know what I'm saying? That come on your motherboard sound good enough using a VST or a DAW inside of your computer. You use FL Studio inside of your computer, it's going to sound good. It's going to sound okay. It's not going to sound the best. It's not going to sound like the best, but it's going to sound good enough. It's going to have crystal clear quality, right? If you use the MPC, it's equivalent to using your own computer. It's a VST engine that's inside it. Not even a real engine. It's VST coding. And then it's MIDI controlled data pads. That's it. Pressure sensitive MIDI data. So what is the difference? There's no difference. I can get a MIDI controller to control my computer, and it's the same thing as using the MIDI on the MPC to control the MIDI inside of that box. With less processing power, you're going to have more processing power that you could pay for with your computer. Just buy more RAM, buy a higher graphics card, buy a sound card for your computer. It's equivalent to what's actually the same thing that's inside the MPC. It doesn't sound like the old ones. It doesn't have its own unique sound. It sounds like it just sounds like the modern day MPCs. Simple. It's a simple thing. So when I say that though, they can't comprehend it because they're not thinking. So they react and they attack, or they have these random questions, which are questions that you could tell. You could tell some of their questions is that they're trying to unlock their mind, but they can't unlock their mind. Why they can't unlock their mind? Because they don't do their own homework and their own research. Why they don't do their own homework and their own research? Because when they come on the internet and they look at the content creator tells them information, and they think that is the homework. They think that is the research. They think that is everything. That's why these people are having a problem, because they're following the content creator, and the content creators give them this BS information, not telling them what a real musical producer is, not showing them what a real musical producer is, not really showing them how to get the placement, because most of these content creators got lucky. They got lucky placements, and when I say that, they say, oh no, this guy's a real producer. I got comments like that. Oh, this guy's a real producer in the game. So when I see that comment, I'm like, well, how do you know he's a real producer in the game? Has he shown you really work that he's done in the game, or has he just sat in front of his computer with a red light behind him, two red light bulbs behind him, with a good quality mic so his voice sounds deep or whatever, and then he's like talking like with equipment in front of him, or holding the MPC Live Mark III up, or the MBK Mini Mark IV up, and you know what I'm saying, or all the gear that they give him, and now he's supposed to be a musical producer. But did he produce the record? So when I ask the question, are these guys real musical producers in the game? Nobody asks the question. They don't ask them to show us the work. Nobody says, yo, show me how you go in the studio and produce real songs. Being a beat maker is not a musical producer. And these guys on YouTube are glorified beat makers, meaning that they get the glory because they got a placement being a beat maker, meaning that they probably made a beat and somebody probably found it on YouTube or BeatStars, or somebody shopped it for them, and the beat went to the artist directly, and the artist wrote a song, and the artist was in the studio with the mixing, audio, and mastering engineer. The artist did the whole record by themselves, and the person who made the beat probably never made one single trip to the studio to produce a record. So most of these people are not even producers. They don't even know how to go in there and really produce a record. They're glorified beat makers who happen to get lucky placements. That's what I'm trying to say, guys. A lot of you guys have no idea what music production is, because you watching these content creators stuff product in your face day in and day out, and they sit in their stupid rooms talking to you, and they're never outside. They never put in the work. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. A glorified beat maker does not make them musical producers. They are a beat maker. They made a beat. Somebody made a song over it that went multi-platinum, maybe triple times platinum, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And then now they're claiming they're a musical producer when they had no input on the song except for the instrumental, which was a beat. They can't, half of them don't even know how to write music, write songs, write a hit. They don't even know the fundamentals of writing a hit. What is the most important thing when writing a chorus? I asked that question. I guarantee people don't even know, because they don't do their research. They don't find out. I know. I know what's one of the most important things to write in a chorus. And then when you figure out that knowledge, you're like, oh wow, that's kind of crazy. So then you do it over and over again because it's a trick to writing choruses. There's certain things that you have to do in a chorus that makes it a hit automatically almost every single time. But I'm not gonna say it right now because that's my information. You wanna know why? Because a lot of people are disrespectful. They're nasty, and y'all don't see it because I blocked the comments. Because they're speaking with the emotion instead of just doing the research and understanding. Hey, guy, this guy might have some. He might be right. He might be really, really right. So, again, guys, this is your boy O05 Dynasty. This was just a video telling you guys, think before you react, think before you act, think before you go out there and try to disrespect somebody. Especially if you're young. This is a message for you youngers. If you hear this message, stop being disrespectful. Stop copying other people's slang. I hear everybody try to, if somebody's a little bit older than them, now everybody wants to call them unk and all this and that, and act like it's a bad thing to grow and to be alive. I don't care if I'm 100 or 200 years old. Like, at least I'm still on this earth. Then when they get to my age, what are they gonna say? When somebody younger starts disrespecting them, they're gonna lash out with emotion because they're emotional creatures, man. They don't know how to control their emotions, and that's a big problem. And people who can control their emotions and start thinking, man, this, no matter all the marketing stuff that they put out there for this MPC Live Mark III, it's really just a MIDI controller. It's a sampler, and it has a sequencer in there. So it's easy for me to go in there and do micro chops and to make beats, hip hop, electronic, things of that nature, reggae. So I get it. I get it when it comes to that workflow because that's what it's made primarily for. But does it have a synth engine in it, like a Roland Phantom keyboard that has, what's the technology? The Z technology or Gen tech? I forget the technology is in there. They have their own core sound engine built into the workstation. That's what it's for. It's for live studio playing, or it's for at home music playing, or for movie soundtracks, and it's for hip hop, etc., etc. Gospel, for everything, electronic music, and also it has those Phantom keyboards have supernatural sounds, not just FM synthesis or this synthesis or that synthesizer or wavetables or any of that stuff. It also has supernatural sounds that are actually sampled into those keyboard workstation that makes it have that rich tone before you go to outboard gear. So I know what the hell I'm talking about, guys, when I say that this MPC, no matter how they try to jazz it up into your mind, my computer at home is way more powerful than that MPC. And all thing I would have to do is get a MIDI controller that has the similar functions as a drum pad, or turn it, or have a knobs on it, so I could just mess around with like turning the knobs and stuff, and then just go on the computer, hook it up USB, and boom, I got a powerful house music production center, which is in my computer, and I just open up a door and I start making beats. Simple. I start making songs. I record my vocals. No lag whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? No issues with audio tracks. I got thousands of audio tracks on my computer. I could record vocals like some of my songs, just for the verses alone. I got like 10 recordings for one verse. For the first verse of the song, I got like 10 recordings. That's 10 audio tracks. I could play them all at the same time. It's gonna sound messed up and jungle. It's going to clip and stuff like that because it's too much audio playing. But it's no lag because I got a powerhouse computer. You can get Mac computers at a powerhouse computer and do the same thing that you're doing on the MPC on the computer. All you're doing is programming drums and a snare and a hi-hat. For most of you guys, you don't even do anything but sample. You sample it, so the only thing you're doing is the percussion. Why do you need an MPC for the percussion if it's going to sound to the equivalent to your computer, or it may be even less or lower, depending on how you set up your computer, what type of sound card you put in it, what type of audio interface you're using. So if you guys start really thinking about it and putting the whole perspective of music together, then you will understand what I'm saying. But you speak with emotion and you want to fight me instead of just taking heed to what I'm saying. One gentleman said, "Oh, don't isn't it the goal to have one box that does everything?" I don't think so. There's billions of companies with different sound engines, and how you gonna put Roland, Korg, Casio, and Rupert Neve, and you know what I'm saying, Arturia. Like, you gonna put all this stuff in one box? Think about what they're saying. They're trying to say like that one box can do everything. Think about what they're saying. They're trying to say that one box can do the equivalent to all these different companies. So to me, you mean to tell me the MPC Live Mark III has everything in it, so you don't need no other company anymore. There's so many things that go along with music production. You mean to tell me that the speaker that's in the MPC Live 3 is better than the KRK speakers, or better than the Yamaha studio monitors, or better than some of the new monitors that have come out recently in the past few years? That speaker's better. You could really mix audio and do real audio engineering with that speaker on there. Can you really record real vocals on there, like a real song with that microphone? Is that a real Neumann like microphone? Like, really think about what you're saying before you speak, man. That they're tricking you into. Look at a mic now. Oh, it has speaker on it. Oh, it has a lot more buttons. Oh, we gave you more RAM. But that RAM you gave me, just one. The RAM that's inside of that MPC Live Mark III is not even half. No, I think it's half of one stick of RAM for my computer. Think about that for a second. If one stick of RAM for my computer is 32 gigabytes of RAM, one stick. Let's say one stick is 32 gigabytes of RAM. So now is it 16 gigabytes of RAM in the MPC Live Mark III? I don't know. I can't remember. Even if it's 32, let's say if the MPC Live Mark III has 32 gigabytes of RAM in it, just one of my sticks in my computer covers that. Then I got another stick that's another 32 gigabytes of RAM. And then my graphics card is it 32? I think it might be 64. I think my graphics card is 64 gigabytes of RAM by itself. I can't remember. I built it like early last year. But trust me, that graphics card alone is like $1,000. That's how much RAM that's in it. That's how much processing power the graphics card has. So the graphics card can handle the GUI, the graphic user interface for any of these DAWs on my computer, especially if it can handle movies and video games and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? So, and then for the processing power, I got my own sound card built into it. Like, come on, man. Let's stop playing games. Wake up. You talking to a person that I was a sleeping giant for all these years, guys. I was not the person that was trying to be YouTube famous. But you got somebody who wants to run their mouth and come to people's channel and say their beats are bad or also bad. So you know what? Now I'm going to show you what a real person is, and a real audio engineer, a real musical producer, a real beat. I'll show you what the real person is on this earth, man. Somebody who don't play no games. Not somebody who's going to sit there and make scripted videos on YouTube and then play the victim card to all their followers. That right there is a punk. No matter how big they might seem, like they might seem like a big giant person. Punk, man. Punk. Somebody who's going to go and try to tear down another person that's in the same community because they don't like the fact that that person is saying the real. If you're a fake musical producer on the internet, you're a fake musical producer. There's no shade against you. It's just telling you the truth. It's telling everybody the real. Now go and be real. Don't be fake and then try to act like your fakeness is actually real. The shit ain't real. Go be a real musical producer in the game. Go be a real audio engineer in the game. And show the work. Show what's working with these major artists. Don't do a beat and then it happened that some artist makes a dope track over it. I don't think the track is even dope, but other people think it's dope. They dance to it and stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why it went platinum, because it was a TikTok sensation. It was a hit. It was a dance hit. You know what I'm saying? So you make two dance hits and they go multi-platinum because they're only dance hit. That's lucky placement. One hit wonders? Come on, man. We're talking about one hit wonders, guys. Not somebody who's out there really putting in work, that's working on Jay-Z's new album, or worked on the Dynasty album, You know what I'm saying? I worked on the Fugees album, The Score, or worked on Celine Dion's album, or worked on Adele's album. Like real people, real getting in there and sitting with the artists and they talking about the song and they putting the songs together. Come on, man. This your boy 005 Dynasty. Don't forget to Google me. And don't forget, man, it's on you to change who you are as a person and operate the right way. Don't be emotional and go online attacking people because you don't like what they're saying because they don't fall in line with society and what society says is the right way. Think before you act. And I'm out of here, man. Don't forget to Google me. Don't forget, I'm multi-platinum. Multi-platinum. I'm multi-platinum.